have shown exemplary mission readiness. Through operations such as Linda Nchi, contributions to the Africa Union Transition Mission in Somalia, and the humanitarian assistance across our counties during national disasters, our officers have demonstrated that readiness is not confined to the battlefield. It also extends to every sphere where the safety and dignity of Kenyans are at stake. Our approach must therefore remain dynamic and investing in rapid deployment capabilities. Distinguished guests, security and development are two sides of the same coin. Without security, there can be no sustainable development. And without development, insecurity finds fertile ground. The KDF, through their discipline and professionalism, continues to contribute immensely to our national development agenda. Fellow citizens, the story of KDF is the story of what is possible when Kenyans choose excellence over average, service over selfishness, and courage over comfort. The transformation of our nation depends on this very spirit, the willingness to think big, to believe in our own potential, and to reject the limits of the ordinary. I have said it before, I repeat it here today again, that we must reject mediocrity in all its forms. We must aim higher, work harder, and serve better. We must settle for nothing less than the very best. Kenya Defense Forces are our heroes and patriots who continue to serve our beloved country with unmatched efficiency, discipline, and commitment. The KDF has remained a shining symbol of professionalism and integrity, not only in protecting our sovereignty, but also in driving the very transformation of our nation. Across Kenya, the fingerprints of the KDF are everywhere. You have built roads that connect communities and open new frontiers of opportunity. You have supported the construction of hospitals and schools that give life and hope to our people. You have played a pivotal role in iconic infrastructure projects such as Talanda Stadium, embodying our belief in talent, excellence, and national pride. In the North Rift, your courage and discipline have restored peace and order, allowing families and businesses to thrive once again. Our soldiers have also been instrumental in disaster response, medical outreaches, and environmental conservation efforts, such as tree planting, all of which strengthen our national resilience and defense. We shall continue to harness the skills and expertise of the Kenya Defense Forces in nation-building projects, whether in housing, manufacturing, innovation, or national infrastructure. And I'm very proud that finally we will have the Ulinzi Construction Company that will have all the capabilities for us to have KDF undertake construction of roads, bridges, houses, especially in difficult areas of our nation. I have committed to the KDF fraternity that the government of Kenya is going to put at their disposal all the equipment necessary for us to realize this vision, because we want to establish bases in some of the difficult areas in Kenya, in Turkana, in West Pokot, in northern Kenya, and many other areas that are of necessity to be able to protect our country. We shall also continue to deepen defense cooperation with regional and international partners, strengthen our interoperability, and enhance intelligence gathering. These partnerships not only improve our mission readiness, but also elevate Kenya's role as a responsible and respected member of the international community. As President and Commander-in-Chief, I am proud of what you have achieved, not only because you serve with honor, but also because your work gives life to the government's vision of a transformed and prosperous Kenya. You are builders of the Kenya we dream of, a Kenya that is modern, united, secure, and full of possibility. To the men and women of the Kenya Defence Forces, your patriotism, discipline, and professionalism inspired this great republic. You remind us that Kenya's destiny will not be achieved by half measures, but by total dedication to duty and to one another. As I said, we must believe in God, we must believe in ourselves, and we must believe in our country. It is the ingredients that will inspire us to move this nation from a third world country to a first world country in our lifetime. With the example that has been set by the Kenya Defence Forces, it expands the horizon of possibilities that can be achieved by our nation, Kenya. KDF has served in the international community in the peacekeeping missions around the world with exceptional excellence. They remind us that that excellence in our soldiers, in our military personnel, exists in every Kenyan. And therefore, we must never settle for the average or the ordinary. We must always work for the very best and the excellent. That is how we are going to move this country to the next level. As Commander-in-Chief, I thank you for standing tall for Kenya, for building, protecting, and transforming our nation with excellence and pride. As I donned this Commander-in-Chief uniform today, it reminded me of my early years as a student, as a pupil, actually, in Kamagut Primary School just next door. In 1979, when this base was set up, I was a standard 6 pupil. Today, with a lot of pride, I saw the choir from St. Mark, my village mates, sing here. And they were singing about the Commander-in-Chief. I don't know whether they knew who that was. And with, again, a lot of pride to see the development that has gone on in this institution and the great strides that have been made by not just the 9th Battalion, but the Kenya Defence Forces. Congratulations on all the positive steps that you are making to secure our nation. Once upon a time, I watched as a pupil, as there was training of soldiers around this compound. We saw them carry huge logs on their shoulders, go through what is making steps, positive steps. Ladies and gentlemen, the soldiers' mission is not theirs alone. It is ours collectively as a nation. Every citizen has a role in safeguarding peace and stability. Communities must work with our security agencies to identify and report threats. Civil institutions must complement military efforts through dialogue, education, and economic empowerment. Political leaders must guard against divisive rhetoric and instead strengthen national unity. Today, I call upon every Kenyan to stand firmly behind the Kenya Defence Forces. Let us accord them the respect, cooperation, and gratitude they so richly deserve. As we celebrate this year's KDF Day, let us remember that at the center of our national defense stands the soldier, courageous, resilient, and devoted. Our collective commitment as government and citizens is to ensure that every soldier is trained, equipped, supported, and honored. To every member of the Kenya Defence Forces, I say this: you are the shield and sword of our republic. You carry the hopes of generations, the pride of our people, and the dignity of our flag. To the families, and this morning I was reminded that soldiers enlist, families serve. To the families of our distinguished soldiers, therefore, receive our deepest gratitude for supporting these brave warriors throughout their journey of service to the nation and to humanity. I thank you all. Have a great KDF Day. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Kinafuata kipindi cha sherehe za machweo ya jua, beating of the retreat by the KDF band. Bendi, tafadhali wapo mko tayari, uwanja ni wenu. Mheshimiwa Rais, ni zamu ya mkurugenzi wa muziki Jeshi la Wanaanga Luteni Steven Njuguna kuweza kuchukua usukani wa bendi hizi. Mheshimiwa Rais, kwa heshima naomba sote tusimame kwa ajili ya wimbo wa Injili, wimbo wa kushusha bendera zetu, wimbo wetu wa taifa na wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Hivi sasa mwelekezi mkuu wa bendi hizi Senior Sergeant Simon Masinde akija kumwomba kwa heshima Rais idhini ya kuondoa bendi hizi uwanjani. Mheshimiwa Rais, naomba kwa heshima tuketi tafadhali. Anaondoka hivi sasa mkurugenzi wa muziki Jeshi la Wanaanga Luteni Steven Njuguna baada ya kutekeleza wajibu wake alasiri ya leo. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais kwa kuweza kupokea saluti hiyo kutoka kwa bendi za majeshi ya ulinzi. Mheshimiwa Rais wanapoondoka, nitaomba tuweze kuketi ili tuweze kupewa utaratibu wa picha ya kumbukumbu. Siku hii ya leo tarehe 14 Oktoba mwaka huu 2025 tuliweza kutekeleza na kusherehekea sherehe za siku ya KDF, kikosi hiki cha 9 Barracks hapa Eldoreti. Mheshimiwa Rais, utashuhudia ukiwa amiri jeshi mkuu kwamba kila kitu katika majeshi ya ulinzi hufanywa kwa mpango na kwa muda mfupi. Ndiposa Mheshimiwa Rais, tunazidi kushukuru majukumu ambayo umetupa ya kuweza kuendelea na ulinzi wa taifa na hali kadhalika kuhakikisha kwamba miundo misingi ya taifa letu la Kenya inazidi kuboreshwa.
Your Excellency, for our next part of the program, which will be transitioning to a commemorative photograph session, and I kindly request the Military Wives Association team, led by the chairperson, Madam Grace Kahariri, to take up their position. I can see the seats already set. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, as we conclude today's memorable KDF Day celebrations, we reflect with pride on our rich heritage of service while embracing a future filled with promise and unwavering commitment. Thank you all for joining us in these celebrations, and we do pledge to continue protecting and serving our beloved nation with honor, dedication, and pride. Your Excellency, as we capture this historic moment, this photo session will serve as a lasting memory of today's celebration and the distinguished individuals who have graced us with their presence on this momentous occasion. As such, allow me to read to you the exposures as they will be following each other. Your Excellency, I now kindly request the Permanent Secretary for Defense, the Vice Chief of Defense Forces, the service commanders, the Vice Chancellor of the National Defence University, Kenya, the DIG, Kenya Police Service, retired General Tonje, retired General Kianga, and retired General Opande, together with the General Officer commanding West Command, to take their seats on the photo session. Your Excellency, today's celebration honors the illustrious heritage and exemplary achievements and unwavering commitment of our esteemed Kenya Defence Forces. At this particular point, Your Excellency, I'll kindly request that you join into the photo session accompanied by the Cabinet Secretary for Defence and the Chief of Defence Forces. Your Excellency, please. May I kindly request the Military Wives Association Executive Committee members to join into the photo. Kindly request the Governor of Uasin Gishu County as well to join into the photo session. Welcome, sir. Your Excellency, that marks the end of the first exposure. I'll now kindly request the Military Wives Association Executive Committee, led by their chairperson, to kindly exit the photo session and into their vehicle to transit to the next session. Your Excellency, for the second exposure, it will be with retired generals. Your Excellency, for the third exposure, that concludes the second exposure, and I'll kindly request our retired distinguished generals to exit the photo session as they transit to the next part of the program. General Tonje Sir, General Kianga, and Lieutenant General Opande, you'll be sitting through the whole entire photo session. Yeah. For the next photo session, which is the third exposure, I'd like to request the current serving generals to join into the photo session. I would also like to request the regiment to be ready to join into the last photo session after concluding the third exposure.
Skibidi Toilet has arrived. New Skibidi Toilet object. Powerful enemies. Thrilling battles. Protect the base. Use WoW's powerful creation tools and build defense towers to your heart's content. Engage in intense battles. Various defense towers. Earn points in battle. Unlock more defense towers.